Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another review, and we're gonna be doing Insidious: The Red Door. Now, I haven't finished the movie yet, but you're gonna hear audio clips between. This is the first one. Then I gotta get to the half of the movie again, or just explain it. But I want to explain the first bit that I saw. So, the movie starts off with the end of Insidious 2, where it shows them closing their eyes and letting the further drift away. And then it shows 9 years later, and then it shows to a fucking funeral. And I thought it was Elisa's funeral because how she died. But turns out it's not her funeral. It's actually Josh's mother, Lorraine, the one that saw the woman in the black, which is Parker Crane. And she passed away. I don't know how she died, but they don't say how she died. Then Dalton gets dropped off to college, and Josh says his mind foggy, or his head been foggy. But I'll get to that part in a second. So, I forget the wife's name, but they split up. Dalton's off to college. Foster, I don't know, and they had like a daughter. I'm not sure who the little girl is. I think that's the daughter. I don't remember them having a daughter at all. Then you get to the part where the MRI scene, where you see from the trailer or the fucking snippet, whatever the hell you want to call it, and Josh is in the MRI, and then the thing goes black. Then you see the weird creepy man come up, and he says, "What the fuck's going on? I've been blackout," and apparently he'd been asleep for 15 minutes, which makes no fucking sense. And that's a creepy ass scene. People say there's gonna be a bunch of jump scares. I believe them, and so far the movie ain't bad. Then you get to the part. Oh, I forgot to include one part. There's a part where Dalton, that whole part where he's painting and shit, he ends up getting a gash from his hand, and I guess that's how it happens. But that's the first part of the review. Then we're gonna get to the other part when I get in further. I'm only 38 minutes in, so yeah. But this review is gonna be long as fuck. Yeah, it's gonna be long as fuck. But that is the first part. But that's about it. See, I guess when the second part comes, I guess, or the full part. Forgot to include something else. They go to a frat party, which their dad thought would be a good idea. Well, Dalton's dad, and Dalton has an encounter where he sees a guy throwing up, and the guy says it won't stop, and he looks fucking possessed. He looks fucking weird, and he starts going after Dalton. Then Dalton hides underneath the bed, and there's a part where fucking the guy that's hosting the frat party swallows fucking mouthwash. It's fucking weird. Then there's another part where Josh sees shoes. Then he runs out from underneath the bed, and then the guy that was puking attacks him, but it was all in his head, I guess. And then there's one part where, and then after that is where the black girl kisses him. Well, just, like full blown out, just grabs him and kisses him. And then the guy comes in, and the girl says, "I like to kick the dick," and it kind of reminds me when he gets kicked in the dick, like kicked in the nuts. It reminds me of Sam Carpenter from Scream 6, where he tases the guy's balls. But yeah, forgot to include that. I don't know if y'all can hear me, but I finally finished it. This is the last part. So after the tasting ball scene, you know what? Yeah. So Josh finds out about his father, and then Dalton draws him on the door, and he wants to remember his past. And the mom, Renee, said they were all memory. They were not even real, but turns out they were. And so Dalton says he wasn't in a coma, but if you think about it, the first movie he was kind of in the coma, and then the second movie he wasn't. So forgot about that. Um, so Dalton goes into the further for the first time, messes with his friend, the girl, and he returns. And then get the whole part where Josh finds out about his father. Get the whole part, and then Dalton opens the door with his mind. I don't know fucking how, but and it shows. We're getting to the very end of the movie. It shows the first and last of Insidious 2, where Josh is not really Josh, but he's Parker Crane. And this is the whole part where he comes down the stairs and tries to kill Dalton, but Dalton stops him. And then you get Parker Crane as a fucking cameo, which is badass. See Parker Crane back in Insidious. And then in the real world, at some point, Josh goes to Renee's house and talks to her, and he thinks he's crazy, but she doesn't think he's crazy. And then Foster comes back with the picture or painting of him on the door. If you're wondering why I'm whispering, because my brother's sleeping. But so you get the painting, then Dalton's in the further. So Josh decides to go in the further and find him. So Dalton's in the red-faced demon lair, and they don't have this like kind of face down show off, but Dalton doesn't. Dalton thinks his dad tried to hurt him, so Josh had to explain that to him. It wasn't him; it was something else. And in the real world, Dalton is possessed by the fucking red-faced demon, which is pretty fucking cool if you think about it. So the girl in the real world with Dalton is fucked, technically, but they exit the red door, and Dalton was like, "Come on, Dad. We don't need to hold the door," but Josh says, "Go on without me." And I thought Josh was gonna sacrifice himself, which kind of made me cry, cause I like Josh a lot. Oh, where were we? So, back at home or college, Dalton, you can see the red door defading or disappearing, because Dalton's making it disappear. And then it disappears, but you get one glimpse of Josh and Red-Faced Demon looking at each other. I don't think it'll be over, but for now it's over. Then you get the whole part where the lantern comes and you get to see Josh's father appear and then disappear, which is his father killed himself by jumping off a fucking building. So, yeah. Then you get him waking up. Everything's fine. Dalton's living his life, I guess. And then him and Renee are talking outside saying, well, Renee says, how about you come over for dinner next week before you get the kids? And he says, I would like that. Then you get Josh walking to the car. And then you hear a familiar voice. And I shit you not, this made me cry. Well, it made me happy. Elise. Elise is right there. I thought she lived. For a second, I thought she lived, but Josh is like, I know you. You're familiar. And she's like, you see me around here. I'm a friend of your mother's. and he's like, um, I have so much to tell her. I wish I could say it. And Elise is like, you will. And then, um, Josh gets back in the car. And he turns around. Well, he first looks in the mirror, then he turns around, and she's gone. Which made me cry because if you think about it, Elise is dead. And she never lived through the second one. So she was technically dead. Oh yeah, I forgot. Specs and Tucker has a cameo in this fucking movie. Spectral sightings, the YouTube bullshit. It's kind of funny to look at that. And then you get Elise's video where she talks about the further and how the tormented souls are there. And then that's it. I wish I knew what the post-credit scene, but it shows the red door with the light. So it's saying there could be more. That's I read an article about that. But my question is, how the fuck does Josh not remember Carl or Elise? I don't understand that. How does he not remember any of that? That was 9 years ago. And plus, he doesn't even remember where he tried attacking his family. Well, I guess because they wouldn't tell him that, but he didn't even remember Elise. That's the one thing I don't understand. Elise was a good friend to him. And the part where Elise was, like, the cameo at the very end made me cry because Elise is probably one of my favorite characters, aside from Josh. Well, not of all time, but Josh is my first favorite, obviously. But it's sad to think about because Elise is dead and you're never going to see her again. And I'm kind of happy that Patrick Wilson, well, the writers included her for one final. I wish she was in throughout the movie, like her in the further with Josh and them. That'd be cool to watch. But that's my review on Insidious, The Red Door. I don't care what anybody says, but I'm gonna have to give it a fucking 8. Or maybe a 10. I'm not sure, but probably a 9.5. No, fuck it, I'll give it a 10. It's not better than all the Insidiouses, but it's up there. I don't care what anybody says. It was too high of a ranking. I liked it for... If you're a true Insidious fan, and you watched all of them, and loved them, like how I did, you'll love this film. But some parts made no sense. But... And it turns out in the movie, Dalton can see when people are dead. But I wish Elise was in the whole movie. And they said they're gonna make a spin-off. I hope it's about Elise. But I don't think they can already do it because they already did it with the third one and fourth one. Because the fourth one's technically the first one, the third one's technically the second one, and one in Insidious 1 and 2 are technically 3 and 4. But Blumhouse said they're gonna take a massive pause on the series for now, and then probably do it again. But I can't wait till another movie. I don't think we're done with the Lambert family, if you think about it, because I want to see more of the Lambert family. But yep, that is my review on Insidious, The Red Door, or Insidious 5. And yeah, that's about it. See ya.